Yeah,
All right,
I just keep
hello
it steady on
everybody.
the
Welcome
magic.
back to
Do
the
my thing, I'm
Uprooted
healing, it's
podcast.
fantastic.
Yeah, we're gonna just have
If I
some
fall,
good
rise
conversation
automatic.
about some good
You ain't
topics
on
with some
that,
good
you
people.
know. I'm the one raised myself like a tree from the roots. West side girl, cause she lit in the coast. East side girl when she speaks to the roots. Stay 100 cause she on with the truth. Been there on struggle, know that it pass. Only going up, yeah, the pain don't last. Ooh, take off. Ooh, take off. Ooh, take off. This is take off. Shorty like Brandy, fight like Monica. What you know about her? Baby girl rising, way to the top. Shaking the world, don't expect her to stop. Purpose so great, she get what she got. Follow her step, cause she following God. What you need more, got a heart full of gold. Even at times when it's raining and cold. Ooh, she bout take off. Ooh, she bout.
Hey, y'all. It's your girl Hannah, aka Roots Hot, and you are watching the Uprooted podcast. And you already know what day of the week it is. It is Black Women Wednesday. I have none other than the beautiful Christina coming on today. I'm so amped to have her. This has been my internet friend for some months. We have connected. This is such a beautiful soul, and I'm so happy to have her on. She is just amazing. I can't wait for y'all to see her. So yeah, everybody, welcome. How's your Wednesday? How y'all doing? I'm gonna tell you, I've been running around all day, okay? All day. And I see my girl is in the building, ready to come in. I hope everybody had a beautiful Wednesday. I hope your week has been phenomenal. Hey!
Hey.
This is so fun. How are you?
Huh?
I said, how are you?
Good. How are you?
You know, I'm kicking still. I've been moving all day, but I was like, oh, we gonna make it to the show today.
I know.
Oh my goodness. First of all, wow, hello. Damn, I should have put my eyebrows on. Like I was running around. I should have had my eyebrows ready to go. Let me see.
Your eyebrows look great.
You know, I ain't got them done in a minute, girl. But first, before I get a little too comfortable, hello everybody. Welcome. Black Women Wednesday. I have the beautiful Christina with me. I'm so excited. Everybody, if you don't know, you're about to know. So if you're just joining, thank you. Some of y'all have seen, Christina around on the interwebs if you've been in the advocacy scene. But I'm gonna let my good sis kind of just introduce herself to the audience, because I be feeling like I know everybody, so I be forgetting to introduce them.
So, hello everyone. My name is Christina. I met Ruth in November of 2020 when the war started. I was looking on social media for an outlet, someone to connect with in regards to what's happening and how we can start advocating right away. And that's how I found her. She was very open on her social media account, posting every day, doing lives daily about her concerns, not being able to contact family and loved ones. So yeah, that's a little bit about me. If anyone has more questions, you can add them in there.
In the chat.
Yeah, in the chat.
They love to be in there. No, yeah, that's a lot of it. I was just like, anybody else worried? Is it just me? Am I living on an island by myself? And then it was like Avengers. I was like, everybody just swarmed out the woodworks. I said, who's this? Who's that? Okay, well, come on, let's get to work then.
Yeah.
It's been beautiful. So that was kind of like, I don't know, like I think we all just kind of went in it. Like I forgot. I was like, oh, we had that conversation. Like I didn't even forget. 8 months, like I feel like it's been 8 years.
It feels like a long time. It does. And we've just been communicating off and on Instagram, and I commended you for being so open and vulnerable, because we all felt that way. Like I'm sure everyone was dealing with their own struggles, behind closed doors with their loved ones. Not even, just everything just changing all of a sudden, right? Like the people around you, your friends, not having that support that you used to have. Those friendships that you used to have because of what's happening. And but I'm just so happy that I met you. I met so many people off of social media, and we all related on what's happening in Tigray, and it feels like there's no longer that void anymore because we have one another to lean on.
Oh yeah. It's been amazing. Like if anything good was gonna come out of this, it was that. You
Yeah.
know, like, and I couldn't have asked for a better tribe. Y'all like hold your girl down. I'm so incredibly amazed at like the work, you know what I mean, that comes out
Mhm.
of all of us, especially the women, and that's where me and you connected the most.
Yes.
um Early on I was like, yes, there's somebody who is like paying attention to the women and what is going on there, and that was like one of the first events I had seen you pull together, and I was
Mhm.
just, oh, I love it, oh, I love it, I love to see it.
Yeah.
Can you tell the
Yeah.
audience about that?
Yeah. Shout out to the UN Women USA LA chapter. Um, Kathy, she's the president of the organization. She automatically was like, what do you need for us to do here to help support you? Because she saw the impact that it had on me. And Jenny from the organization, all of the women who took the time to actually understand how this war was impacting women and children in Tigray. And so they took the time to do their research. And everyone else on social media, Sarah, you, the Tigray Professional Network, they connected me with between Sam, Aza, and
Uh-oh, I can't, I think
like,
your audio went
can you
out
see
for
me
a
now?
second.
Yeah, someone was calling me. Can
Okay,
you see me
you're
now?
good now.
Okay. Yeah, so it was just like it was just all of this support coming everywhere, right? In the beginning I was kind of frustrated because I'm like, we need someone to stand up at least for the women and kids who are going to be the most impacted by this, right? And at that time it was a call to action, like, please, let's take preventative measures before women,
Yeah.
sexual violence is used as a weapon of war, right? We're hearing things but we don't know because there's no communication. But at that time, half of the refugees in Sudan camps were kids. And we did hear stories from women here and there, but not in the way that we did until I believe Lucy Costa was one of the first people to report about how brutal the sexual violence was. So at that time, it was more of like, rally up behind us. We don't know who our allies are at this point. And as time went by, we saw who our allies were.
No, it's okay. I figured you were at the office.
Yeah, so we saw who our allies were, but it was really like a hope, a call to come and join us and stand up for these women and children before it's too late. Before the things that happen now. We were trying to prevent that from happening, and unfortunately, we didn't have that support. And I can get into that too if you like.
Yeah, no, I know
Yeah.
it's so frustrating. But in a sense, it's kind of like that battery in your back, right? Because you're like,
Mhm.
all right, well, I guess I got to do it myself, and I
Mhm.
feel like that's something that we all have.
Yeah.
I think if there's a character trait about Tagaru, it's the resilience, right? It's
Yeah.
like, I'm only gonna ask you once. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? I'm only
Exactly.
going to ask you once. And once you don't do it, I'm about to get up and do it myself, and don't complain about how I get it done. Cause
And we
like,
did it, and I'm so proud of all of the women who are behind a lot of these platforms. Many of these platforms that you see on social again. I keep getting
you're good.
calls. Sorry,
Do the
but oh,
scroll down and then hit do not disturb, like, and that'll help.
okay.
Y'all, this happens to me all the time. My mom, for some reason, she'd be like, "Oh, let me call you right when you're doing the show." Like, sis, just hop on the live and watch.
So I'm gonna do it manually, and I'll come right. I'll.
I think you're okay. Yeah, it's so funny, y'all. I swear, I swear, I swear. It be cracking me up every time. My mom is a comedian at that. I don't know. It's like the universe. Okay, you're good.
Everybody's calling me.
I know. I'm telling you, it's like Murphy's
Okay.
Law. It always happens.
Yeah. So I was talking about so many platforms, right? Women are behind them, and shout out to all the women. The Health Professional Network of Tigray, Dr.
Mm-hmm.
Rashawn, she's behind that. The other co-founder, Salah Gabramaskel. So it's like, and you have Omnad, so many of these large organizations that you see on your social media platforms. There's women behind them, and we're
Yep.
literally driving. Um, we are on that forefront, right? We're the ones who are advocating. And, I'm just so proud of all of the women who've taken the lead and
Yeah, it's
didn't just sit
amazing.
back. Mm-hmm.
It's
Because we could
amazing.
have
I
said
get floored.
yeah.
Here's this comment too. Million said, thank you to all the strong Tagada women. Y'all are a hell of a creature. Oh, my girl said, I'm here, AirPods in at work, but I can't miss the live, sis. We love it. We appreciate you. Come through with the come through. So if you're just joining, again, this is Black Women Wednesdays. I have Christina on. Christina was just sharing with you guys just kind of like that journey of getting into advocacy and what that was like, hey, like let's sound the alarms, protect our women, you know what I mean, protect our
Mm-hmm.
kids. Like, we know what's going to happen, we know that they're the most vulnerable, and that oftentimes in conflict, right, they're left defenseless. So
Yeah.
that was like something that was touching to both of us, right? And then we were able to connect on that and continue to just support each other behind the
Mm-hmm.
scenes. Like, I see you, sis, keep going, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's been dope. And so now you're transitioning to being a part of the HPN team,
Yeah.
HPN Health
So
Professionals Network, right? For
yeah.
Tigray.
Yeah. So what happened there was, after the panel discussion, I did get in touch with the Health Professional Network for Tigray, and they're all about getting humanitarian aid, medical equipment to those who are in need. And I was like, this is something that where I need to be, and where I
Mm-hmm.
can, use my skills to help them as far as advocacy, whether it's meeting with representatives and senators, writing letters. I like to write letters. So
In case y'all
writing
didn't know,
letters of
she's a lawyer.
correspondence.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, just in case you don't know what's happening, here's what's happening, and here's why you should care, right? As your constituent, you should care. So it went from there to like now we are developing a lawyers association through HPN for Tigray that will, further lead in advocacy and helping those asylum, refugee seekers, the protective status. So branching out more into there and resettlement potentially too as well.
Could you break that down a little bit? Because I think some
Mm-hmm.
people would be a little confused, right? They might
Mm-hmm.
hear Health Professionals Network and not
Mm-hmm.
understand like why lawyers would be necessary
Yeah.
and like helpful. And just to, just so anyone who's
Mm-hmm.
thinking about creating an organization,
Yeah.
understanding why you need both arms.
Well, you need both arms because, I mean, any organization you can think of, they do have a legal department, right? Or they do have
Mm-hmm.
a policy department. And those are the ones who kind of say, here's our objective, right? As a humanitarian or a health professional network, here's our objective. And how can you help push those efforts for us, right? And that's contacting other organizations to partner with or contacting representatives and telling them, hey, look, these are the international laws and they're being violated, right? Like you see the healthcare system, it's completely destroyed. Tigray had one of the best healthcare systems before the armed conflict, right? And now it's
Yep.
like, it's no longer there. And when it comes to women, it's like, okay, yeah, we are, even if they are trying to help in some ways, whether
Mm-hmm.
it be with giving them dignity kits or post-rape kits or safe houses. I mean, what does that all mean if you are not stopping the perpetrators, right? I
Mm-hmm.
mean,
Mm-hmm.
at this point, they said there's like 22,000 victims of rape potentially that will seek treatment. And we all know sexual violence goes underreported. And so there's a lot more than that. So that's kind of how they like tie together, right? So you have that legal aspect of like how these are like war crimes. It's
Mm-hmm.
crimes against humanity. It's even genocidal rape because of the fact that these women happen to be from a particular ethnic group, and that's what makes it a genocide. Is when you're targeting them, and then it makes it a crimes against humanity because it's systemic and widespread, large numbers of women getting raped. So that's how you kind of like tie in. I was trying to use as an example, like of the medical aspect of it, right? There's no health care for these women. There's no reproductive health, and then what's happening legally too.
You know what? The other thing for me that connects there is this concept, right? So health is not just your physical health, right? Health is your mental well-being as well, your emotional support, your spiritual center, like all of it, right? Like health is an all-encompassing thing. But another part of your healing process, in order to you to get back to healthy, is restorative justice, right? And what does that look like? You need a lawyer for that. You want to hold people accountable through the systems that we have, right? Which is the law, which is the court. You need lawyers for that. You need people who understand how to navigate that process and how to help the women through that process and like protect them throughout it, right? So that's what I also think about as well, that like, should they choose to pursue action, right? Or if there are means to pursue action, we would need support in that regard. So I love the fact that you're building out that arm at HPN, and anybody in this who is a lawyer, who knows a lawyer, please connect with Christina, because this is a huge undertaking, and we need all the support and love we can get for them, because that's a lot.
It is a lot. And the evidence that will be used eventually is going to be from those doctors' reports, the psychosocial needs, those reports. That's all going to be used as evidence for these cases. And also, if anyone needs like advice about law school, whether or not to go, you're taking the bar exam, I know it's like in 2 weeks. Just know that we're here for you. You can always message me. I check my inbox. So
no, for real, guys, she really does. Like she really does.
I respond to everybody.
So don't be shy. She's really friendly. I will say too, so for those who might be looking into law, can you talk about kind of, because Elsa came on 2 weeks ago, and she was talking about like that you're not really specializing in anything particular when you're in school. So for you, what was the path that you decided on for your career?
My specialization was in international law. I've always been interested in human rights. So that's what I specialized in, but you do learn general law, contracts, torts, criminal law, constitutional law, civil procedure, business, corporations, property, everything.
Yes, I was stressed for you guys.
Those things. Yeah, and you need to know those things just to make you more of a well-rounded individual, and you won't be like, oh, I don't know what that means. You'll kind of have some knowledge of what's happening if you were to review a case.
Oh, I know. I'm over here because I'm building all these businesses, and I'm sitting here like, okay, Elsa, Christina. I'm over here just already creating. I'm like, who can I get on retainer? Like, okay, hold on. Like, I got a couple of friends, and I'm like, what you specialize in? Okay, just in case I get to, because I be thinking of building businesses in every industry. So I'm always like, what do you do again? Okay, I just got to make sure when that bridge comes, I know who to go to. So y'all, that's part of networking. Y'all gotta really pay attention to who you're around, because half the job is learning the law. The other part is getting the job, right? Like getting into a firm, getting the experience you need so that you can even build up clientele. And I feel like a lot of that is associations. Like,
networking.
Do you join, or have you, because I know you did the UN Women's thing, and then were there other organizations you joined?
Besides the Black Law Society at my law school, other than that, no, I didn't really join any organization per se, besides the UN Women. I mean, that's what I was passionate about, and so no, it makes sense. You want to go and get so the way associations are for people like in the audience or younger, because I do get younger audience members, is like you want to join a network that you plan on being in, right? Like so you don't need to do all that because you already know which one, right? You don't need to join 20 because who has time for all that, but be specific and look for what already exists
And then I always tell people, if it doesn't exist, it's meant for you to create.
Exactly. No, I
So.
totally agree.
Oh man, they're over here. She said that's roots out for you. I know. I be trying to build too many businesses. I'm gonna take a break though.
Yeah, one at a time. Focus on one, give it all your energy, and then go on to the next one.
I know. I just go for it. I just go for it. I'm like, whatever. I'm gonna learn on the way.
Yeah, and for all the young people out there, it's never too late to like start whatever you're passionate about. Never too late. I've been in classes before where it was a mother and daughter, even a grandmother in the class with her grandchild. So it's never too late. Join, if you're passionate about something, join a nonprofit, join an organization. I know it's COVID too right now, so times are a little hard, but there are so many different organizations out there for you to join within your field that you're passionate about. And they're always ready to take free labor, and you can get experience that way too.
Yeah. I'm laughing at Benyam's comment. He said 3 businesses in 3 months. And it's like,
that's what COVID does to you though. Like, it makes you think outside. You had all this time.
I know. I told him, and look, I got 2. So I'm only one shy. I'm only one shy. No, I would like, I set very like big goals, and like, but here's my thing. I set them really big. And maybe you could talk about this, because I want to know kind of your journey too, because getting through law school is dedication, is discipline, right? And for me, for me, I said, I'm going to set these goals. Like, I'm going to shoot for the moon. Like, I really love that quote, like, shoot for the moon. Because if you fall short, you're still in the stars, you know? So I was like, even if I fall short, I'm going to be way further than I thought I would be, you know? So I kind of like, I just go into drive that way. It's like my own little reverse psychology that I do. But for you, my team is in here because they know, because I'm like, guys, we got more to do. Let's go.
Yeah, we do. We have so much to do. Don't think because we have this fake ceasefire that everything is, you know, peaches and roses or whatever, right? Like, we still have more to do. There's still a lot more to do. There's the rebuilding of Tigray, right? The schools have been destroyed. Healthcare has been destroyed. People's homes have been destroyed. Farming, no one's able to farm this year. So it's like there's a lot of rebuilding, the psychological support people will need for years to come. So, I mean, even, I know it's overwhelming, but, you know, you could take on a small project on your own, or you can join a larger organization that's working on different things. Just like HPM for Tigray, if you're into humanitarian efforts, you can join them and partner with them and work on a smaller project through them, you know? So there's still a lot to do. There's still a lot of advocating to do in regards to that too, and making sure that Tigray is not blocked out from getting access to the things that they need for survival.
No, for sure. Thank you for highlighting that, because like a lot of people, you know, rightfully so, we're on a high, right? Like 8 months of just pure trash, right? Like eight months of just people kicking you while you down, you know, all of those things, and to have not one, but 2, 3, 4, 5, you know what I'm saying? Like, people attacking you from every side. It has, you know what I mean? It has made us very armored up. Like, if you run, like, even today, right? Like, I'm driving home. By the way, I still have free Tigray on my car. You know what I mean? And I was like, until it's all the way free, it's not free. You know what I'm saying? And so I have it on my car. And ironically, as we're driving up I guess, you know, I'm in Denver. So the likelihood I'm running into some Habesha people is pretty high. And so this, you know, this guy pulled up beside us and he was like, I drove home. And he was like, yes, it was so sweet. But like, in my mind, if you don't come with that energy, like, I'm just like this, like, I'll be looking like, what you about to say, you know what I'm saying? And then I'll be real hard, and as soon as like they come with that energy, I'm like, oh, okay, what's up, y'all, how you doing? And like, you have to, I felt like that armor on for so long that it's been, I get it, all of us feel so good right now to like finally start to get some news, to get some relief for our people. And it's not over though. Like, we could take a deep breath and we can start to like, okay, like, get, you know, stretch it out, you know what I mean? Go ahead and you know, do a little bit of like praise dancing or whatever, you know what I mean? to get that, you know, this is momentum
Oh, yeah.
for finishing it out, right? Like we got to finish it out, make sure that like all our people are safe, that
Yes.
like we have access to getting humanitarian aid in, because the famine is still a famine. Like it doesn't just disappear overnight because the army's gone, right?
It is.
Like we
Yeah.
still got to get food in.
We
And
need
so
access. There's
that's
no
really important.
Mm-hmm. I mean, the World Food Program, it took them 2 weeks, which should have been a 7-hour drive to get into Mekelle. And the food that they gave out is only able to last for 1 week for 200,000 people. You have 900,000 that are in need, and they're going to need food next week. So that's why we can't stop, you know, and we got to continue to, there's a lot of naysayers out there who don't believe what's happening or who try to discount it. And we have to be able to use our platforms to continue spreading truth.
Absolutely. And so y'all, if y'all heard this, our allies, advocates, organizers, all of us, we know, everybody, you deserve it, right? It's been a hard 8 months. So everybody just love on each other. We're gonna be in community. If you are not coming to Denver in 2 weeks, make sure you make it out to Seattle at the end of August, because we gotta love on each other, reconvene, you know what I mean, and prepare for the next steps, right? Like that's where we need to be. Is all right, you know what, they caught us off guard a little bit, but you're not gonna catch us slipping again.
No, we have to make sure we have preventative measures for that. And then that's where women and girls come back and tie into this too as well. Like there needs to be a societal change mechanisms for women to be able to protect themselves. I'm not an expert in it, but there is women, peace and security. That was something that was supposed to be implemented in Ethiopia. That was what the president of Ethiopia, Sahle, said she was going to bring to Ethiopia, was women, peace and security. And so what they do is structure, in case something happens, what you do to protect yourself, right? As women in these communities who are left alone, whether it be a safe house that's ready or something. And none of that was provided to any of these women. And we need to make sure that something like that is ready for them if something happens, that there's security that's ready to protect them as well.
Yeah.
Because I know everybody in Tigray was caught off guard, but the women were really, and the girls and children were really caught off guard. You don't go into a neighborhood and start raping them. There's no justification for the sexual violence at all. Like, it's not casualty of war. There's no exception, you know, and I understand in law there's exceptions, but there's no exception for rape. None at all.
None. It's not necessary.
It's not.
It's literally not necessary. There is never necessary. So I wish somebody would try to justify. I'm like, what? Where? Where does that make sense?
It's that kind of, you know, victim blaming, like, oh, it was already a problem anyways. And it's like, oh, well, you knew it was a problem. Why didn't you guys try to fix it? And in Ethiopia, they knew that law enforcement had an issue with using gender-based violence towards women. That was already a problem. And so why didn't you address it? And I understand that we have women in these higher...
I consider that a symbolic victory.
Yeah.
Like in two ways. Let me justify that and clarify that for people who might misconstrue that. Sometimes we celebrate too early, right? Like for me, I'm a cheer because I want to see women win always, right? And I want to see us being put in position, right? But you don't get all your flowers until you show me what you're gonna do with that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like, she has not shown that she actually cares about women at all.
No,
you know?
And this was her chance, and this was a lot of these women in these roles, Ministry of Health, be it, or, you know, president. We have a Supreme Court judge that's a woman, all of these roles. And it's like, this was your time to use that role, right? Because you have that influence, you have that platform to speak to people that everyday people like myself or you or anybody else cannot speak to. So why not take advantage of it? And if you really want to make change, and if you say you're a feminist or you're about women empowerment, it should not be based on the race or ethnicity of a person for you to, you know, say women empowerment. You know, it's everybody. I'm not gonna,
you can't be selective.
You cannot be selective.
And
No.
I'm gonna say this to everybody one time so everybody knows where I stand on it.
Mm-hmm.
As much as I'm upset with, you know, the armies and the militias that are attacking our people, right? I would never, ever, 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 ever wish that on their people.
Nope.
I would never,
Me
I
neither.
would never, ever
No.
allow, if Tigray were to go into like any other territory and
Mm-hmm.
they harmed any other woman, I would
Mm-hmm.
be equally as upset
Yeah.
because they're not who we attack. That's
They're
not what
not.
we do.
No.
And that's why I'm very protective of that. And I know that sometimes because of anger and because of how we feel, because we've been attacked for 8 months, it's easy to get into kind of a rhetoric where we're like, man, F their women too. No.
No.
Me, Anne, Ruta, I'm speak for myself. It's
Me
not happening
too.
here. It's not
Bigger than
happening
that.
here.
We're bigger than
Yeah.
that. You know, we don't stoop low like that. I would never wish that on anybody. If anybody I knew was being impacted similar to the way that we're being impacted, I would have right away like, hey, what do you need me to do? You want me to
Yeah.
tweet? You want me to send a letter? Okay, I can, you know. And so I encourage you guys, but I'm just proud of everybody though, because at the end of the day, we were able to push through, even though we're a small community. And you know, numbers don't lie. Like we are trending on social media. We are getting a hold of our representatives. They're listening to us. Our senators are listening to us. We do have a lot of allies here in the U.S., but at this point, I do think it's time to kind of branch out to other allies as well and give that same, where we're making an impact here, we should do that as well in other countries.
Listen, when you have the truth on your side, don't even try to go to anybody who's gonna tell you otherwise. Okay, don't even waste your time. Like, but anybody who can put a sentence like together, can put two and two together, can see for what it is. You know what I mean? And there's plenty of allies out there. Matter of fact, I was just at the coffee shop, ran into an old homie, and he was like, "How do I show up better?" People care, and they want to know. They want to know. So now that we have. Go ahead.
And I was going to say, and I encourage, you know, all you women out there, men to join organizations, branch out. This is not going to be something that's going to end tomorrow. As you see, it's been 8 months. It's going to be years. So it's not too late to go and join an organization, a nonprofit that helps with human rights or medical needs. Join them, learn from them, and see ways that they can help people of Tigray.
Basically, we got to get it done by any means necessary. Like, our people need us. So like I said, take this time, love on each other, recharge, right? Take the time you need to especially for everyone who has not been able to contact family, you know, use this time, like, God willing, you know, that the lines will be up soon. And give yourself some time and grace, because I remember, you know, first being able to contact. I come from a privilege that most of my family is in Makala, and so I was able to contact them earlier on. But it is spotty, right? Like the connection goes in and out. But there are parts of Tigray that people have still not been able to contact at all. And so I want to honor that, and I want to tell you, when that time comes, be prepared, and then give yourself grace, give yourself time to deal with that, and then go recharge with your family, reconnect with your community, and then we're going to get back to work, because the work is not done yet. So don't go on the whole victory lap.
Okay? I mean, I'm just really happy to see, you know, on the front page of New York Times, it said fighting for honor versus, you know, a devastated country. Like, it's just so symbolic to how driven we are, right? Despite all the atrocities, despite the setbacks, we are pushing through, and we're fighting for our honor at this point. And I even shed a tear when I saw that, because, you know, my biggest fear was like, we're going to be on the front page because, you know, people are dying from hunger and starvation. But it's not, because, you know, we do have that issue, but we're also pushing back, and we're pushing through.
Yeah. And even if, like, for me, I was like, even if, right, the worst, I was like, we're not about to just die. Like, this,
we're not.
I couldn't accept that, you know. I'm like, in my spirit, the way that I've always been, and I say this like my way Yane came really early as a child, is I might go down, but I'm going down with a fight.
Fight.
Okay, like
Mm-hmm.
you not gonna think you just taking this from me. Like that's just
Yeah.
not how that's gonna work. And I know that spirit. I like literally just I feel it from all of us, and I'm so
Mm-hmm.
proud of everyone. I know times get hard, it gets tense. We one big ass family, you know what I mean?
Yes,
And
we are.
we gonna fight, but we gonna still be here for each other. And I couldn't be prouder of all the work that everyone is doing. Absolutely phenomenal. So just don't stop. Understand this woman got a whole law degree. She's sitting at the office, okay, still making time to do all this advocacy work. I know your career ain't easy.
No.
I was like,
I was also going to say, if anyone has upcoming meeting with representative or senator and needs like advice on how to go about it, PowerPoint or whatnot, feel free to connect with HPN for Tigray, and through there we can help you prepare for your meetings wherever you are.
look at. I hope y'all know, because some people don't be understanding. So let me break this down. If we had to go outside of our community, right, outside of our own organization to get legal consultation, we're spending hundreds an hour for that type of support. You know what I mean? So I want people to understand that, like, this is really like off the love of our people. This is off of like no sleep, no eat. You know what I mean? Like team don't stop, you know? So like please y'all use the resources that we are creating for you. HPN for Tigray is a phenomenal organization. Like everyone knows I'm very particular and picky about who I like support and who I amplify. I don't amplify people that I have not verified, you know? So this is me co-sign. I always co-sign them, but I'm gonna co-sign them 2 more times because that is amazing. That is phenomenal. And you have your whole life still that you gotta live, right? Like you're still managing your whole life and doing all of this like extra work, and you're a victim of the trauma too, right? Like so it's phenomenal, and I just want to commend you for that. I want to commend HPN for Tigray for what they're doing as well, because it makes me feel like I could sleep a little better at night knowing that we're taking care of our own people, you know?
Yeah. That we're all advocating, we're all putting in our time to help in some way, shape, or form. So
yeah, it's phenomenal. So y'all make sure you understand, if you have not looked into these organizations, these are the type of people who are working behind the scenes, right? And we're also a new generation. The other thing that I really love about what you guys are doing and how you guys are coming into the public, because usually nonprofits don't have an online presence, right? And I feel like another thing that we're doing really well in this generation is like creating some form of transparency. You know what I mean? And like creating actual connections and relationships, so we know like, yo, these are the people who are working, like
and we're
these are our
informing,
community members.
we're keeping everybody up to date with what's happening. All the organizations are on social media, active, letting everyone know what's happening, so you're not in the dark. And I hope that others who are also dealing with similar issues within their home countries see this, and this drives them and gives them motivation to do the same and advocate for their country. You don't have to fight in the dark.
Listen, that part, you might have just said a whole word. You might have just said a whole word. No, for real, because I was thinking about that, and what that just sparked for me, Christina, is I said this to my friend. I said Tigray accomplishing what it did in 8 months should actually shake you.
It should.
If you are a marginalized person and you pay attention to what we were able to accomplish by ourselves, like that should shake you, and that should be shaking dictators across the world, because like we're literally the example, we're literally
the
role model, we're the blueprint of what it means to like literally not be oppressed and to refuse to be subjugated.
Yes, those days fighting in the dark and getting away with it are over. It's a new day now. It's not going to happen anymore.
No, it is insane. And the one thing I will say to Deka Tigray is make sure that at the end of the day, nobody else is telling our story. I'm tired of that. Like we got to take back our narrative, because I can't have that. Like that fear of like, oh, we're gonna be painted as the poor African, the poor da 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 da, and like erased. Like no, we're not doing this whole erasure thing. We're gonna
Yeah.
make sure that we stay, you know, like
Yeah.
keep your foot on the gas pedal.
Yeah, and if you see somebody else who's tweeting about their country and it's not picking up that much traffic, just tweet about it for them, you know, wherever it may be. If they're in Sudan, Kenya, I know District of Congo, they're dealing with the same similar things. Tweet about it. Like
Cuba, Haiti.
Yeah, in Haiti. We all need to connect and make sure that this doesn't happen anymore. Like it needs to stop. It's been generations after generations. We have technology now. It's not in the dark anymore, and people don't have to fight in the dark. And we figured it out, and so we have to like keep leading the way, and help others too along the way.
Yeah, your best allies are the other marginalized people.
Yeah,
like that's literally. I don't know how many times I gotta tell it. MLK did not die because he was trying to free Black people. Okay. The government didn't attack him because of that. They attacked him because he was organizing poor people. And that's way more powerful. You know, they call it Wayane the peasant revolution, right?
Yeah.
The poor man's revolution.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe this is connecting dots for people. I hope. But like, I just want you to know there's parallels here between Black Panthers and Wayane. I don't know. Maybe they, you know, I'm just saying there's a trend here of people who refuse to be oppressed. Find those people.
And everybody was able to join, right? At this time, it was like doctors, professors, business people, everybody from all walks of life came in and fought for their lives.
Oh, yeah. I'm over here looking at the comments. Everybody
Women
is
too.
like cheering.
Shout out to the women who were leading even on the forefront in Tigray. I read about it in the New York Times. There were women who were commanders.
Look what I have right when you said that.
I have to read that.
If you guys haven't got it, this is Sweeter Than Honey. We gonna change the whole Ethiopian part, but women in the revolution, testimonies of the Tigrayan woman. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is like Tagadalit's, like the women's narrative. We're gonna do it as a book club. So if you guys are on Clubhouse and you're on Tigray Club, we're gonna do it as a book club. A couple of people organized it, and I was like, okay, this is gonna keep me accountable. So y'all get the book. I think we decided on August 6th or 7th, something like that. But if you're on Clubhouse, you know, just look it through your events and you'll find it. I'm sure we'll post it again too somewhere. But yeah, y'all, it is a beautiful history. It is we come from a revolutionary people. We come from a resilient people. We come from a rich history, and that's what kicked in for everybody. And I couldn't be prouder of where we come from and who we are and the way that we fight. We fight honorably, you know. And I'm like, you're not gonna paint us out to be these war people and these mongerers or none of. Nah, but you're not gonna punk us either. We're like kind, but you know, don't confuse my kindness for weakness. I be letting people know all the time. So it is a lot. And I don't know. I'm just so happy that like we're able to connect, that I can see your progression and just how strong the sisters are around us, you know, every day. It's so beautiful. Which reminds me, this is, you know, the end of the program. You watch it, so you know what question is coming up, sis.
Okay.
All right. What do you want your legacy to be?
That I fought the good fight.
Okay. Wait, who just? Oh my, that's gonna make me so mad. Who's the guy? Oh my God, he just passed last year. The senator.
Yes, I know who you're talking about, but I can't think of his.
Oh my God, somebody put it in the comments. I'm about to be so mad. Don't take my black card from me. Don't take my black card from me. I think he said, right? He said that quote, and then he was like, "Get into good trouble."
Good trouble, yeah.
Okay, I see you, sis.
Yeah.
I see you, sis. She said, "Hold on, I'm cute, but I'm gonna cut you." Like, hold on. I love that. No, honestly, like I know you're doing that. You've already been doing that. The field is
John Lewis.
controlled.
Yes, you're right, Sarah.
John Lewis, thank you,
Mhm.
Jesus. Ooh, Jesus,
You know, I
the
don't get that
way.
many trolls like everybody else does. Maybe, I don't know, maybe because I don't engage. I don't know what it is. I don't.
Nah, because here's the thing. Let me tell you. You know
Uh-huh.
why we don't get trolls? Because
Uh-huh.
all we speak is facts.
Yeah,
Like,
maybe that's why.
that's why. What you gonna
Yeah,
troll? Plus,
yeah,
we be using big words and we be talking like in full paragraphs and sentences that make sense.
yeah,
So they would have to read all of that. And by the time they
yeah,
finish reading it, they might have learned something. So what they
yeah,
gonna do? Be like, damn, I came here to troll you, but you really talking that. All right. They stuck. They don't know what to
yeah.
do.
It's all
And we're
facts.
not entertaining them. And we're
Yeah,
not gonna entertain you if you're a troll.
and everything that we say
So
is credible. It's from a source, you know. And if you want to like argue, like make sure you cite a source. That's one thing, and that's my response to anybody who does say anything is, where's your source?
you know, listen, this
Not
is what
not
happens.
what your uncle or your dad told you from the coffee shop. You know, I
You're
need your
dealing with
voice.
grown women who
Yeah,
have actual like job experience, who work in corporations, who work with people who try to come for us 24/7. We not worried about a little lightweight who can't even Google some information.
yeah,
Like, I don't give trolls no type
yeah.
of energy at all. But what I do want to say is, because I do love to speak into people, like,
Hmm.
I really love that legacy for you. You
Hmm.
know, I do, because I feel like you're on that path of understanding that, like, you only have one life to live. And if
Hmm.
I'm gonna go out, I'm gonna go out trying.
Yeah,
You know, I'm gonna go out making sure I did everything I could to help my people and make a difference. And I don't know, what your family situation is back home,
hmm,
but I'm sure that when they see the work you're doing, they are gonna be so proud.
yeah,
They always are. Like, we have
yeah,
a lawyer in the family.
yeah,
They love saying that, but to
yeah,
see you actually use that to advocate for them, to know that someone cares, and then and not just for your family, but for us as a collective family, that
yeah.
you are like putting in the work and time to do that, and keep yourself above water. Like, I'm really proud of you. Like,
Thank
and
you.
and it's not even like, my friend just said this to me too. It's like, it's not even just proud of you like some type of mentor. It's like, I'm proud for you. You know what I
Thank
mean?
you. Thank you.
And that's so beautiful. And I hope that you are getting all that love and support
Thank you. Yes, I am.
behind the scenes, because you are
Yeah, I
carrying so
am.
much.
Yeah,
Actually,
I
can
am.
we end there? What
And
What are
I'm,
you doing for yourself?
huh?
I said, let's end there. What are you doing for yourself? Because you're managing a lot.
Um, Work out, go to the gym. I try to go like every other day. I love the step machine. That's my
Girl,
way of releasing.
the way I know I should do that, because I'm trying to get like a little track booty situation going
Yeah.
on. But I just, you got a level of discipline, sis, because every other day. Listen, okay, let me stop playing with you. All right,
But I also want to
everybody.
tell you, Ruth, that I'm very
Okay.
proud of you. Very, very proud of you. And I sent you a private message before. Um,
Yes, it was so touching. Thank
I
you.
would just watch your videos sometimes, and like especially in the beginning, and like, wow, she understands, and it felt good to have like an ally, especially when the people who you thought would be there for you weren't really there for you.
Mm,
It was like a friend in the virtual world, right? And so I'm
yeah.
so proud of you, having this platform, shouting out all the women who are behind the scenes, advocating. You don't have to have a bunch of followers, you know. You don't have to be someone that's like popular to advocate.
Mm-hmm.
And I love the fact that you had like every, you know, different type of women on Black Women Wednesdays, and all they had to be doing was, you know, be in action and advocating for Tigray in some shape or
Yeah.
form. It didn't matter if you had 5 followers, 1,000 followers. You're not about all the people who are like in the limelight and stuff like that. You're not a clout chaser, and I love that about you.
Thank you, sis. I appreciate that. Thank you for seeing me. It's nice to be seen properly, because some
Yeah,
people want to misconstrue. So I appreciate
yeah,
that so much.
yeah.
We getting some love in the comments, and I said proud of both of y'all.
Aww.
Hey, Sinai. I got funny stories about him too. I can't wait. I'm gonna have to convince him to come on one day. But yes, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you, Christina, for
Thank
being the
you.
amazing, beautiful spirit that you are.
Thank you.
Everybody, that is Black Women Wednesday. Have a beautiful rest of your
You
day,
too.
evening, night. Go eat, go stretch, get your water in. I'm going to try to hit some stairs for you, okay?
Okay.